maybe it's not necessarily your power went out, but let's say you're out camping or you're out in an area where you need access to power, to battery power, you've got it. And you can take it along with you. This is the EcoFlow DELTA 900 power station. And we've got a couple of different options for you. But what it does is you plug your appliances or devices into the EcoFlow, and you've got power. And it has a huge battery capacity. We're gonna take you through all of it. But we're talking about you're plugging in your 2-prong outlets, you're plugging in your USB ports. So think about, and also your 3-prong outlets. So think about all of the things that we need on a daily basis that we need to be connected, whether it's our phones or our tablets. Maybe it's the television or the radio to know what's going on if the power goes out. Maybe it's a fan or just something as simple as light can make all of the difference. When you don't have power out here, you have power right here in the EcoFlow. So what you're ordering today is the one that I'm showing to you now is just the unit itself. And this is the EcoFlow. When you see right there on the graphic that it says with solar, this is that offer that says with solar. So it is the EcoFlow, the same one that we're gonna give you all the details for. But you also have the option of having the solar panel that helps to recharge this battery. So let's say maybe you are out camping and you take this for your battery usage. And then when this needs to be recharged, you can recharge it using the solar panel. I will tell you, full disclosure, I have the EcoFlow at home. I have the solar panel charger. I love the peace of mind that I have knowing that if we need it, we've got it. And when it's time to recharge it, we have an easy way with just using the power of the sun to recharge. But let's jump in and give you all of the details so you can feel confident with whichever choice you make. Justin Hyatt is joining us. And Justin, first off, it's so good to see you. And it's so good to have this back.
It is, because, you know, what's great about just EcoFlow in general, and especially the Delta 900, which, by the way, this is a launch. You know, we just launched this 2 days ago, so you're some of the very first people to see this model. It's brand new to the EcoFlow line. But speaking of EcoFlow, there are a few things that come into our life, just like a cell phone or a tablet, that's life-changing. That's exactly what this is. And as Tamara, as you said, this is what we consider a power station, but really a power factory. And this is just a great way for you to have that power at home, or for if you live in apartments, live in condos, and you just simply cannot have a generator. Well, this is where we talk about converting and moving away from gas combustion engines and moving to electric vehicles. Is the same thing that we're doing with our 21st century version of an electric generator. And you're seeing some of the different examples of things you can use: your TV, a vacuum, a hot plate. And one of the best parts about picking up EcoFlow is that they're one of the leaders in this whole entire industry of portable power. And this unit only weighs about 23, 24 pounds. But guess what? It doesn't use gas. It doesn't use propane. So if you work from home and you have electronics and Wi-Fi and tablets and your desktop computer, and you want to keep on running your life, this is the best way to do it, instead of feeling like you're at the mercy of waiting for the power grid to turn back on, Tamara, when you truly do have your own power factory that, by the way, can recharge the fastest in the whole entire industry from 0 to 80% in under an hour.
Wow.
And again, we talk about not being handcuffed to all of those other things, Tamara, like gas and propane. That's why we offer you the solar panel, because now you just use the power of the sun, so you continue to power this up for days on end or weeks on end. And we can see recently why you want to do that, because it doesn't matter where you are in this country,
yes.
Winter storms, blackouts, whiteouts, brownouts, or tornadoes,
yes.
You need power. This is the best way to do it.
It is, and the fact that you have it and it's in your possession, and that's one thing that when you think about, like you mentioned, like traditional generators and things like that, they have to live outside of your home. They're out of your control, and I can't tell you how many stories that you hear on the news about somebody stealing somebody's generator and those kinds of things. This is yours. It weighs about 23.5 pounds, so it's got some weight on it. So I love that today it's free shipping. That That's a big savings. But you also have the ability to plug in. And Justin, when I think about all of the things that we use that really have become a need, not just a luxury, but a need on our daily basis, when you think about all of the different things that you can plug in on either side, and I'm gonna show you both of them, it just gives you your own power station in the palm of your hands. That's very easy. It's not intimidating in any way. Remember, we do have the opportunity to get it with the solar panel to recharge the unit itself. We're gonna go back to Justin to hear more, but just so you know, you've got it on FlexPay. You can use any major credit card and get your EcoFlow home for 5 flex payments. If you have an HSN card, use it because you can get what we call VIP no interest financing for 18 months. And it's sort of like having an 18-month flex pay. So for you, if you used your HSN card, got the 18-month VIP financing with the solar panel, it's $58 a month. Without the solar panel, it's $47 a month. You can even, because this is a higher price point purchase in electronics, you can even, just for that added peace of mind, pick up that HSN Protection Plus plan. And when you do that, you can see all of the details right there on hsn.com. It's powered by Allstate. But when you do that, it helps to protect from things that happen to our electronics. So if something happens, if it's an accidental spill or drop or those kinds of things, you are protected for your unit, which is fantastic. And it is an additional purchase, but it really does help to give you that peace of mind. And when it comes to peace of mind with what you can power, Justin, I think about your burner, your fan, your mini refrigerator, which might have your medication in it, your television, your coffee maker, your lamps. That's just a small snippet of what your EcoFlow can power for you.
Yeah, really, this is just kind of scratching the surface, but what I want you to look at 2,000 watts on that induction burner, 1,600 watts on that hairdryer. So how in the world can we get that high of a wattage when this is just a battery? Well, that's exactly why EcoFlow is the leader in this industry, because it's not just the little necessities like, of course, a fan to keep us cool in a summer heat inside our home or outside of our home, or a light so we're not sitting in the dark. But when we start talking about big appliances, this has something what we call Xboost technology. It was patented by EcoFlow. So we can run this unit at 1,400 watts, but boost it up to 1,800 watts, and of course even higher, which you can see with that induction burner. So we can do big appliances, because when you're thinking about making a considered purchase or you're making that commitment, we want to, of course, know, well, what are we wanting in our home that's a real necessity? Like, for instance, our refrigerator. How much food do you have in your refrigerator right now? Hundreds and hundreds of dollars? Well,
Yes.
What happens when you lose power and you're in an apartment or your condo? Well, you can't plug in a generator. You can't plug in a gas generator, a propane generator. This is going to be that power factory, so that you are the one apartment and maybe the whole entire apartment building that continues to have power. And here's how you can do it. By just recharging this simply, we're going to show you that extreme technology right now. You can recharge your unit from 0 to 80% in under an hour. That's industry leading. But when we're talking about powering up even beyond that, when we're out of power, that's why we give you the solar panel option, because then whether you're out camping or frankly you feel like you're off the grid because you're at home and you have no power, you can continue to recharge your unit. We showed you just really quickly that little snippet, being able to actually monitor your unit as well with remotely with your app. You can do that because this has a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, one of the things I want to show you is you do have all the USB ports on the front. So your phones, your tablets, we think about Hurricane Sandy. One of the biggest things, of course, outside of wanting to keep our food cool, but was communication. We had so many people running to restaurants in some place that had power so they could just communicate. You can continue to recharge your phones and electronics with your USBs on the front. And then on the back here is where we change the game, because this has 5 AC outlets, 3-prong AC outlets. And I'm just going to plug in my light so you guys can see an example of how this works. One touch of a button, no pull crank, and we're going to be able to power up our lights, our fans. And you can see exactly here at the studio. One of the things, Tamara, I don't know if you could show this. You see that little tab right there?
Yes.
Could you lift that little tab up?
Yes, I will.
On the bottom there?
Yes, I sure will. Here.
So that's going to be your DC adapter. So Tamara, that's perfect for any air mattresses or even the tab above that. Do you see the one right above the AC outlets?
Here.
There you go.
Yes.
And then right there is where we're going to actually recharge the unit with our solar panel, with our wall adapter. So makes it simple, makes it easy. There's no oil, there's no gas, there's no fumes. You have all of the access to power up all of these different electronics, and not just for a little bit, Tamara, for hours and hours on end, for your refrigerator, for your microwave. I'm gonna hop back here before we run out of time. Even our microwave, which by the way, this is the difference between cold food and hot food, but I could cook food, run my television, have a fan going simultaneously, all of these different things. This is the best option for you if you don't have a generator, if you're a little afraid of owning a generator because simply they're too demonstrable or you can't because you live in an apartment or condo. This is a way to have that power factory at home where you can have that peace of mind that no matter when, you still have power.
And I love that you showed the multiple uses that you can use at the same time. It's not just one plug-in battery. I mean, this is your entire battery backup, which is fantastic. That, you know, we were talking about, you mentioned Sandy, you know, we just had Ida. There's so much in the pipeline. There's so many times where the power goes out, whether we know it's coming and we can prepare, or whether we don't know it's coming and we don't know how long it's going to be out. This gives you that peace of mind, and that's why we bought it. There was a time not too long ago, as a matter of fact, I know exactly, it was exactly 4 years ago, because it was right after my daughter was born. There was a big storm that was coming, and we had to evacuate because we knew that when the power went out, which it did, we were not gonna have air conditioning, we were not gonna have air, we were not gonna have access to cooking and to our refrigeration, and so we had to evacuate. And the power was out for some folks for weeks. I love the idea. And so we got our EcoFlow shortly after that. I remember hearing Callie here raving about how much she loves hers. This is the opportunity for you to have the ability to still be able to plug in a fan and to have light and to have access to your router and your Wi-Fi when you need it, and your computer and your refrigeration for your food or for your medications and what have you. This is the ability to have that, and it's in the palm of your hands. And I know that it is a considered purchase, but think about the alternative. Not having any of the things that you need for you don't know how long. This just gives you that peace of mind. And Justin, for that reason, I love that we have this for you today.
Yeah, being proactive, not reactive. So many times we think, well, we need to go out and get a generator, like you were saying, Tamara, because we've seen what happens in Ida. We saw what happened in Texas and Dallas, and we see all of these things. We think, well, we need to be a little bit proactive. Make sure you are proactive, especially in an emergency situation where you need to get that ready for you never know when.
Yes.
But it's just a really matter of when, not if. You're going to lose power. Could be a few hours, could be days, could be weeks. Yeah. This is one way to definitely continue to power your life and the majority of your home appliances, Tamara, without all the fuss and mess of gas and running to a gas station. You really have the power, no matter when, even when you don't have power, to recharge the unit with your solar panel as well.
For sure. Justin, thank you so much. I know this was quick, but I really do appreciate you coming in and teaching us all about the new